What's up and good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another video. You hear that? You just hear a little bit of wind right now, but normally you hear a little bit of freeway noise. And well, that has since not completely ceased, but has slowed down. Everything's a little bit quieter around here, being that, well, the whole state got shut down, allegedly, kind of, sort of, non-essential business, whatever it may be. I'm sure you're all going to be hearing the same thing in your state soon if you haven't already heard it yet. Now, the good news is I think we're considered pretty essential business-wise, that, you know, we got to be out and about. And when I say out and about, I literally go between my house and the warehouse. One thing about our circle is very, very small, and that is good in a number of ways, one of which being also in a time of now, to keep everybody nice and safe and healthy. And don't worry, workforapparel.com still fully operational, fully functioning. We've scaled down who is shipping out packages to where it's just me and my girlfriend now. That way, again, we keep everything safe, healthy, clean, and everything can still get out in a very timely manner. Oh, and by the way, I'm in the OBS, which is probably going to be confusing to you guys because the order timeline of videos is not going to make sense. But trust me, I've got a few videos that are going to explain why I'm back in the OBS, what's going on, all the stuff going on at the shop. Those will be dropping next week. But being that a lot of people are getting quarantined, a lot of people are getting sent home from work, like, I want to continue to produce at least some content for you guys to hopefully keep you entertained and, like, you know, not bored out of your minds being stuck at home. Well, you guys can probably see from the parking lot over here, yeah, a lot of essential business going on today. Well, let's get inside the warehouse quick before the Rona gets us. And I'm sure you guys are dying for me to probably just walk over there and show you an update on the OBS, but trust me, the video is worth the wait. So one of the things I wanted to do with today's video, again, being that, like, you know, the state's shut down, but not really shut down, but kind of shut down. Can I see people doing some stupid stuff that's going to enforce, like, some type of martial law where they actually, like, do enforce the shutdown? Yeah. But in the meantime, I want to do a Q&A. I do it every once in a great while on my Instagram, so I figured let's ask questions on Instagram, let's answer them on YouTube, and then hopefully, you know, we can all kind of hang out. From More8363 is a good question. Would you prefer laying concrete or the building part of construction? And in all honesty, I did concrete. That was how I got my start in construction. I did it for probably a solid 10 years plus, like, full-time work, and it just got very repetitive. Now, that could mean you get really good at it because you do it over and over and over again. But the way my brain works, I got to keep changing things up. Like, I can't have repetitive. It would literally be set the forms, grade it, tie the rebar, pour the concrete, strip the forms, take those exact same forms to the next job site, set the forms, and yada, yada, yada. It just became really, really repetitive to me. So that was the reason I wanted to kind of branch out. I started working with Dave, started getting more into the general side of things, doing framing, doing finished carpentry work, a bunch of different trades. And then I went and got my general contractor's license, and it was just, to me, I couldn't do the repetitiveness anymore. I liked being in a different type of work almost every day. Here's from White Knight 22. What made you want to start doing YouTube? So if you guys want to go way back into some of the old embarrassing videos of me and my buddies on YouTube, you'll see I've been on YouTube since 2006. I never really took it seriously. I kind of missed the YouTube gold rush and the YouTube boom of everybody making a ton of money on YouTube because, again, I never treated it like a job and I never took it seriously. But I always loved making videos of adventures we'd go on, trips to the desert, trips to the river, whatever it may be with my buddies. I would always make these compilation videos, and the reason I would put them on YouTube was just so I could share them around with my buddies. I never anticipated them like blowing up or getting popular or anything like that, and it wasn't until about 3-4 years ago now at this point that I decided, let me try and take this YouTube thing seriously. The Instagram was kind of growing, and I was like, maybe we can transition this into something I really enjoy doing more than taking, you know, still pictures, is actually making videos. So we decided to take it seriously, and just really, like anything, if you apply yourself and you take it seriously, it's pretty much bound to take off. Or if it wasn't meant to be, then just shut it down and try something else. As a kid, what was your dream truck? This is from Breps 1277. That's a good question, Breps. A lot of people aren't going to believe this, actually, but my dream truck was as stupidly massive lifted of an F350 as I can get. I actually went and looked at a couple of used F350s that were lifted prior to buying my first truck, which was a 2005 1500 HD. You know, diesel. Like, I always wanted a diesel. I didn't know why I wanted a diesel. Then I saw the price of a diesel and realized I can only afford to buy a used one. And all the used ones I looked at were super high mileage, and I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go get a gas truck at the time. So yeah, a big giant lifted F350 was like my dream truck as a kid. From HTX.Jake_. Best advice for someone leaving high school and doesn't know what they want to do. That's a tough one, man. I was lucky in the fact that growing up, I always was in the garage tearing apart something that I couldn't put back together, or always working with my hands, building tree houses with buddies. I knew, to me, working with my hands and like building and creating was what I wanted to do when I grew up, however it may be. So if you really don't know, that's tough, but pick something in your life you enjoy doing, see if there's a way to make a career out of it, and that's gonna have to be the route. I mean, it's not gonna have to be the route you're gonna go, but if you want to be happy, that's the route you're going to go. If it's video games, well, you sure as heck better become a software engineer or figure out how to make video games. If it's working on vehicles, well, you know, there's obviously many great ways to make that a career. It's tough, yeah, and if you really have no idea, you're going to have to go out there and try different things. It's going to delay probably you finding that thing that you love, but you really don't know until you try. Some people think they really love a certain career or they want to do a certain type of career, and then they go do it. I have a buddy whose girlfriend would actually harvest organs out of people that were killed in like car accidents and stuff. She was the one that would harvest the usable organs to send off to, I don't know, get placed in somebody else. And she thought that's what she wanted to do. She did it for about a year and said, this is horrible, I can't do it. Now she sells insurance. So you really never know. Here's a good one from Jevin Waite. Sorry if I messed that up. Thoughts on the world of trades in the next 10 to 15 years. And let's just put it this way, and like listen closely. This one's important, guys. This one's important for all of you. Keep in mind what has been pressed for the last, my generation, the generation after it, and the generation before it. Everybody was pushed to go to college. Well, what happens when everybody floods one type of career choice or one type of world, aka let's just say white collar world or whatever it may be? When you have a flood, and the more people you have, the less you can pay people. The less people you have, the more you could pay people. Well, when everybody's going the college route, not as many people are going the trades route, well, guess whose wages are going to increase? Right there. That's right. The trades world. Plumbers make really good money. Electricians make really good money. And they're needed right now. Everybody I know that owns a company in construction or in any type of trade has a shortage of employees and would love to hire qualified employees right now, or even not qualified, and train them. So I see, even in the next 10 to 15 years and beyond that, the trades are always going to be strong. If anything, they're going to be really strong in the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, look right now. Technically, like I said, the state is shut down. But everywhere I'm driving right now, I'm seeing construction crews still out and about working. Their services are still needed. Your plumbing could back up in your house right now, you know, and I get robotics and all that are taking over some like factory jobs and all that, but it's going to be probably not my lifetime before you can call up a plumber that ends up being a robot that shows up at your door from Amazon that dropped off a drone to come unplug your toilet or to come replace your water heater. From Kenry K_Posey. So you 100% have had no college. This is 100% absolutely true. All grown up through school, starting in elementary school, 3rd grade is when they put us in the GATE program, which is an accelerated program, all the way up until high school. I was an honor student, an accelerated class student, and I had great grades, 4.0 plus, depending on what year it was. But I knew college wasn't for me. So obviously anything I'm like actively doing or have to do, I'm gonna do well. So I was doing well in school, but I knew once I finally get the option, which is either to go to college or go to work, I decided I was going to go to work. I didn't take the SATs. I didn't take the ACTs. None of that stuff. I didn't do any of it because I knew there's no point. I don't want to go to college. We actually have in our school district that we were in, we were guaranteed admission to a really great college in our town because we were in the school district that we were in. And so I guess I was technically accepted to college, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. So I did not go to college. Keep in mind, we've got some random questions in here. And I want to hit on a lot of them. So from Nicholas Glickman, do you like the Allman Brothers? I'm a big Allman Brothers fan. My dad's a big Allman Brothers fan, so I grew up listening to them. My neighbor actually has this old like 1980s Harley full bagger, so I don't know exactly what model Harley that is, but it's got the full stereo, you know, which for back in the day, like that was pretty rare. Plus it's got a cassette player in it, and there's an Allman Brothers cassette stuck in that Harley. And the greatest thing ever is when I get to go ride that thing with him. He's got an R6 as well, and we go for rides. And getting to cruise and listen to some Allman Brothers cranking on the stereo on that bike is super sick. From Unknown Savage 00, why don't you drive the BB anymore? Number 1, it's BBB. Number 2, I do drive it. We drive it to shows. I drive that thing. I actually put more miles on it than I would like. Every show we seem to go to tends to be like 2+ hours away. I've taken it to Vegas. I took it to Utah last year. That's like pretty much become my road trip vehicle because really the only time I travel, because I'm not a fan of traveling, 1 being all kinds of crazy diseases out there. Number 2, I don't like flying on planes. So if I got to be driving distance, and typically if we're traveling, it's because we're going to a truck show. So I end up taking the BBB. Obviously, I don't want that thing getting beat up in parking lots or anything like that, so it kind of stays in the garage. I've got other vehicles to be my daily driver. I built that thing to be able to handle being a daily driver, and it was for a while, but now that I have the other vehicles, and my other vehicles are becoming nicer and more suited to being daily drivers, like the OBS, having that it's got the nice center console in it, the nice stereo and all that stuff that where like it's comfortable, that's become more my daily driver. What's your favorite tool you have ever used? Honestly, this is no joke. My favorite tool, I think I've said it on the channel many times, is a mag drill. So if you guys don't know what a mag drill is, it's basically a like mini drill press, but it's got a magnetic base. So you can like have a beam upside down. You can literally magnet this whole, like an electromagnet, this whole drill press on to the beam and drill like significantly large holes in it. I forget exactly what the bits are called, but they're like a hollow, almost like a hole saw, but they're not. And they drill through steel so easy. Like if you've ever drilled through steel with like crappy drill bits or like wood drill bits, you know, or whatever, like Home Depot, DeWalt pack of drill bits you get, drilling through steel is miserable. Try a mag drill. It'll like change your whole way of ever thinking about drilling through steel. It's amazing. Here's one I get all the time. Have you ever considered leaving California with all the regulations, laws, taxes, etc.? That's from Coulter Harbin. And if I forgot whoever the last guy was, I'm sorry. Messing up my own rules here of saying who sent it in. Yeah, I think about leaving California all the time. I would love to either head to Arizona, Texas, one of those states. My problem is I don't do winters. I can handle heat in the summer, but I've also got roots here. So I've got family here, I've got business here. It's not super easy to just pick up and move. And obviously with my friends and all the circle and everybody growing on the YouTube channel, it would be hard to move without taking everybody with me. And number one, I can't afford to take everybody with me, nor do I think everybody wants to leave. And some people are tied here. So yes, I think about it every single day. I just don't know when, if, or how I'm gonna make it happen. Nathan.sat. How do you balance everything you do, YouTube, work for it, etc.? If I told you I had this whole thing on like lock, like my beautiful planner, everything's scheduled. We've got this beautiful calendar on the wall. I mean, we do have one downstairs, but I'd be lying to you. Honestly, I don't know how everything works as well as it does. I hate to say that like I just go with the flow, but sometimes I just have to go with the flow. I don't like to plan too far in advance because I know things change all the time. So around here, it's kind of like controlled chaos. The hardest part of what I do is like I'm a big control freak. So I can't just like have everybody, you know, assign tasks and just be able to sleep well knowing like it's gonna get taken care of. Like I wanna be the one that's like the final stamp on everything. So a lot of the work for it stuff, I mean, whether it's ordering inventory, you know, signing off new designs, coming up with new designs, whatever it may be, that's all still me. Like I can't just farm that out because I want to be the final say and I want to make sure the quality is everything that I want it to be. But behind the scenes, we've got a lot of great people. I know my friends jump in to help, my girlfriend, we've got employees here at work for it, we've got my family that jumps in when we need be of stuff getting taken to the post office or whatever it may be. Like everybody is all hands on deck here when it's needed. And that definitely helps keep me organized and grounded. From Southern Oregon Power something, I don't know, cut off your name. Are you ever gonna set up like an annual show / event of your own? So yes, we are. You know, hopefully once all this crap blows over, we can actually get that set up pretty quickly. But we did do a kind of like test run truck meet / show a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago. I don't remember at this point. The one where Fern's Barbecue kind of helped put everything together, sponsored it. Alex over at Hopos, sorry Alex, I always screwed up, made the trophies for us. So that was kind of like one of our test run events. We actually did another one before that. But yes, I would like to have like an actual permitted event where we can have all you guys show up and just make it one big awesome time. So far, all the ones that we have done have had amazing turnouts and they've been great, and being able to meet all you guys is super sick. So yes, we want to keep that going. So stay tuned. I will let everybody know when we post those events. What made you pick Chevys? Did you grow up around them? Also a good question from Nico's VidSpot. So I actually did grow up around Chevy. So fun fact, my dad used to be a car salesman at a Chevy dealership. So he's always been a pretty loyal GM guy. I think his first truck was a little red S10, and then he started moving up to like cab and chassis work trucks and all that type of stuff. So always grew up around Chevys. But again, like I mentioned earlier, like I did want a Ford initially in the very beginning, ended up with a GM, and just kind of have been like, that's just kind of what I like. At this point, and I saw another question in there, I don't remember who asked it, but at this point in my life, I've owned 3 Fords, and now with the addition of the LOY, 4 GM trucks. So I've had a 73 F100, 94 F150, the 97 F350 that I have now, I've had the 05 1500 HD Silverado, my 2015 2500 Silverado, the 2016 GMC Denali that's out there, and now the 2005 LOI Duramax that we have that is not on the channel right now. Ballpark_deck. Where's Dave? 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 Dave will actually be in one of the next coming videos after this. From JNF 2002, what advice could you give someone wanting to get into a diesel? Just know when you're purchasing a diesel, everything is more expensive. Depending on where you live, fuel could be more expensive. It's supposed to be cheaper, should be cheaper. Maintenance is more expensive. The vehicle itself is more expensive. So if you got the budget to afford and to maintain a diesel, then go for it. But make sure you got that budget in play first. From Josh _Cornet 98. How many yards was your biggest concrete pour? Off the top of my head, I want to say the flagship project, which was chronicled on this YouTube channel. If you guys want to go way back, that was the big campground project we were doing. Probably, I gotta say the footing pour that we did there was probably one of the biggest. I don't know if it was the biggest, but anytime you're running 2 trucks backed up to the boom pump at the same time, you know you're really flowing some concrete. That one ended up being as big as it was because we had so many rains after we had dug the footings. We kept having cave-ins, so essentially every time the footings cave in, like your footings get wider and wider and wider. So let's just say if, like this virus thing don't take everybody out and they decide they're gonna bomb the world, like that's the bunker you wanna be in. That building's going nowhere. From Poyoa, P-O-L-L-O-A-A, Big Macs or Whoppers if there was no In-N-Out. So fun fact, I'm not the healthiest eater in the world, but I don't eat really fast food except for In-N-Out. Like I'll do taco shops and stuff like that, but I don't do like the big chain restaurants. I haven't had Taco Bell or anything like that in probably 15 plus years. Same goes with Burger King and all those other places. But if I were to have one, I think everybody knows Burger King's pretty gross. I mean, McDonald's ain't great, but I just don't know anybody that's like a exclusive Burger King fan. So I guess we go Big Mac. Ricky Batten. What is your favorite kind of construction to do? I am only 15 and love to run equipment. So honestly, this kind of goes back into saying like why I became a general contractor was because there's so many different types of things you get to do on a daily or weekly basis. It kind of changes all the time. I love running equipment, but eventually I get a little burnt out of it if I'm doing the same job. We were doing a job where we had to dig like probably a 15-foot long footing for a block wall, and we ended up hitting a whole vein of blue granite, which is like blue granite's extremely hard to get through. It ended up taking me what should have took maybe 5-10 minutes to dig, took 2 weeks on a breaker all day long breaking through this blue granite. Luckily we were able to get the engineer to flip the footing from being deep this way and narrow this way to being wider and less deep, which saved us, but we still ended up being 2 weeks on an excavator with a breaker, and we would just rotate in shifts for about 10 hours a day breaking through this blue granite. And days like that, I'm like, yeah, I would much rather be doing some like trim carpentry work right now. From Alicia_Deering. How old are you? I'm gonna let you guys guess. I know I've said it a few times, but guess down in the comment section. All right, guys, last but not least, this is probably the question I get asked the absolute most. What brand and model of sunglasses do I wear? These are electric swing arms, which I don't know if you can see the little brand in it. I don't know if you can see the little name in there, swing arms. There's actually been a link in the description of every single video I posted in the last like 2 years because I get asked this so often. These are, and I'm not joking, some of the best sunglasses you will ever wear. I get headaches from sunglasses that pinch my head. I've got a big head and a wide head. So for years I've had sunglasses that essentially pinch both sides of my head. These things are the most comfortable ones you're ever gonna wear that don't pinch. They're super lightweight. I love them. I'm probably on like my 20th pair by now. Anytime I lose a pair or scratch a pair, I'm instantly on Amazon ordering another pair. So we're gonna wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys like the little Q&A style. Again, we're just trying to come up with content to keep you guys hopefully entertained, informed, and not bored during whatever type of stage of quarantine you may be in. And I know I'm going to say this in the next couple of videos, but it's really important right now to support small businesses. I appreciate all of you guys that have been blowing up the Work For It Apparel website and helping to keep the lights on and the doors open here. Well, closed because, we're quarantined, but we are essential. Every little bit really does help. Go out, support your favorite little restaurants. I mean, they're saying buy gift cards or get takeout service. Like, small companies aren't the ones that are going to get the giant bailouts if they do come out. So every little bit that we can help kind of stimulate the economy and stimulate small businesses is going to go a long ways. So a huge thank you to those of you that are out there doing that. We're trying to do our part as well. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that you do not miss out on any future content. Don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforthepale.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you got to be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.